Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Danya if you're new here, and in today's video we're going to be working on some really fun Cricut crafts that I need to finish up today. So let's get right into it. The first thing I want to work on is a cake topper for my son's birthday. I can hardly believe it, but he's turning 2, and I had my Cricut cut all these pieces of cardstock because I want to create a 3D cake topper. And I think I talked about this a few videos ago when I was working on the cake topper for my daughter's birthday. I'm not a pro when it comes to 3D cake toppers, but I'm really enjoying working on them and kind of learning along the way. So I'm excited about this one. Now, if you don't recognize this baby, this is the baby from the movie Boss Baby. And when I thought of this idea, I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. He really is the boss. He runs the show and it's just so perfect. It kind of, he kind of looks like him, honestly. So I thought that was hilarious. Now, in case you missed the video when I first talked about my new glass mat, let me set this aside for a minute just so that I can talk about this because all the heart eyes in the world. Now, this is a glass mat and it is magnetic. The reason I love this so much and I've had it on my wish list for so long is because it is so easy to clean. So if I'm working with glue, paint, anything that's considered messy, I just wipe it down either with alcohol or a baby wipe and I'm set. And I've been using this for a while now, and honestly, I love it even more than I did when I first clicked add to wish list. I seriously can't say enough good things about this. Glassboard Studio sent me this. They also sent me their magnets. These are the mini magnets that they have, and then they sent me their 6-inch ruler as well. I love how strong the magnet is. It holds down the cardstock. If I'm trying to position anything, I don't have to worry about holding it with one hand and then trying to position it with the other hand. Honestly, and you'll see now as I work on the cake topper just how nice it is to have a surface that's so easy to clean and then to have magnets to hold everything in place as well. So I just wanted to kind of tell you that in case you're wondering why my background is different. Now let's get back into working on the cake topper. Now I'm trying to see, I cut out a bunch of layers, like I said, because I really want it to be 3D. The layers behind, so this is the back layer, the very back, and it's pretty much what's going to hold the whole structure. I have so many circles, and then this one is kind of ruined, but you won't be able to see it, so that is absolutely fine. I'm not really sure why I have a white one. I must have gotten mixed up. Now, these circles are smaller than this one, but it is completely fine because all I need is that depth. It doesn't really matter the size. And then I have this acetate that's going to cover this, and then this is going to go on top, and I'll have some sequins inside here, and then I'll have the number 2 right here, and I'll have this adorable baby leaning on to the number 2, and then these go right here, and then I'll have my baby's name right here. So let's get started. Let me bring in, I'm going to be using Dollar Tree's foam tape. You get 3 of these for $1.25. I'm trying to see if it says, 2 yards each. Yep, and then that's the sizing. So I already have one that's opened up. I just wanted to show you the package. All right, let's do this first because then I give it enough time to dry. Now, I have been seeing this glue everywhere. And at first, when I went to purchase it, I was like, wow, this is pricey glue. But now after using it for a couple of weeks, I understand the hype, honestly. It is so amazing. It dries clear. I love the precision tip. I've said this before, but I never share anything on here that I don't genuinely love. So just, you know, in case you're ever wondering. And even if someone reaches out, I don't always say yes. I've said no to so many different things because they don't align with what I share or because I don't trust the quality. All right, now, while that dries, and this is just gonna go right here, but what I need to do is I need to bump this up with some foam tape because that'll give the sequins enough room to move around. Now, this is, sorry about that, this is thicker, so I'm going to have to cut these. I wonder if I just cut it in half, if that's enough. Let's see. I should have waited for the glue to dry, but I think we'll be okay. I don't know if you guys can hear my stomach. I swear I am always hungry. I don't know what to do about that. Hopefully you can't. I actually had a t-shirt a couple years ago that said single. It has like those check box next to each one. So single, taken, or hungry. And then the check mark was next to hungry. And that was such a perfect t-shirt because that's me. Always hungry. Oh gosh. Okay, let's see. If any of you are pro 3D cake topper crafters, let me know if you have any advice. I'm just kind of doing what I think looks nice, but it might not be the traditional way of doing things. So I'd love to hear, or I guess read your advice. I appreciate you guys always. Always, always appreciate you so much, more than you'll ever know. Okay, let me, yep, that's good. Okay, now let me, oh goodness, let me bring these in. So these are also from Dollar Tree. These, I believe, are from Amazon. I'll link them. And let's see, which ones? I think I want to add a little bit of these and then some more of these blue ones. I'm going to put these in a different container once I'm done because this is definitely not a good idea. Okay, I think that's enough for those. I was working on some designs this morning for my next video, and I'm so excited to show you guys that. Make sure you have the bell turned on. It's usually right next to where it says subscribe. That way you get notified when I upload a video. So, okay, I honestly only want a teeny bit because this is, let's see. Just trying to see. Okay, that's, I mean, that's barely anything, but honestly, I like it. So we're just gonna go with that. Now, let me use, I'm going to use this tool to remove, is it easy to get these off? I guess it's easy. I was gonna say, here, let me show you anyway. So I have my X-Acto knife and it comes with a few different options. So what you do is you unlock it and then once it's in here, press to release and then I choose whichever one I want. I lock it back and take it out, and that's it. So I was going to use this to take off the backing, but honestly, I feel like it's easier if I just do it by hand. So let's just do that, and then we'll work on the rest of the cake topper. Thank you all so much for your support on my last couple of videos. I know they weren't Cricut related, and I, wasn't sure how they were gonna do. I appreciate you guys watching and commenting and liking. Seriously, you guys are the best. All right, so now I'm actually going to use this magnet to keep this in place because I don't want this to move. Let's see. All right, that looks perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm so excited already. Now let's work on the number. Look at that. Gosh, I love it. Okay, let's work on the baby next. He looks so funny / cute. I actually haven't seen this movie in a while, and I don't know, maybe I should watch it with my son, although I don't want him getting any ideas. I just noticed I have no idea what happened here. I wonder if it's going to be noticeable, or if let's see, I mean, it's ruined anyway, so might as well try to fix it. Okay, and then if I go this way and this way, let's see if that'll look okay. Honestly, I think that looks good. So that's what we're going with. Let's position this first, and then I'll do everything else. And if you're wondering what this is, when I was printing out the design, I noticed that the color was not what I was imagining. So I stopped the printer right away and I redid it. So then I was able to use the other side. Okay, now for the baby, I'm just going to use glue, and I'm just going to add glue to this side because this is where he's touching the back. Okay, are you kidding me? All right, let me set this aside for it to dry while I do this. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that. I love how that looks. Okay, that is adorable. Okay. Now, if you do something like this, you can either put the stick in here and glue it inside, or I've seen people on Instagram do something like this where it's a template that they glue. I'll show you what I mean. They glue it on the back, and that way you put the stick inside, and usually they use acrylic sticks, and then that makes it easier for the person to remove the stick afterwards and use this as a keepsake. So you can glue it onto a canvas or anything you want to. Now, my Cricut was supposed to score, but I could not find my tool anywhere. So I just had it draw, and I'm gonna bring in my scoreboard and we'll just score it manually. So you would just glue this together, and then it goes on the back. And this is where you put your acrylic stick or any other kind of stick you want to use for your cake topper. And that way, when you're done, you remove the stick and you can keep this. I think for mine, I think I'm just gonna use, I have those cake pop sticks. Let me go grab them. So I have these, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna glue one right in here. But I just wanted to show you how this would work if this is something, you know, you were interested in. All right, let's move on to the next one. The next thing I want to work on is weeding out a design that I'm going to be placing on some t-shirts. So I have 7 of these designs. I have 3 for boys and 4 for girls. The designs are pretty similar. The only difference is I'll show you in a minute. So these are gonna go on pink t-shirts for the girls and blue t-shirts for the boys. And this is actually a custom order. For a friend of mine who wanted shirts for her kids and nieces and nephews for when they go to their grandmother's lake house in the summer. And the girl design says Bay House Girls, and then the boy design says Bay House Boys. Both of them are white, the designs I mean, and then they both have the same waves, same font, same style. And I won't make you sit through all 8. I'll just do one girl one and one boy one, and then we'll press the designs on the t-shirts. So this is the girl design. This is the color t-shirt it's going on. So just to give you an idea of how that's gonna look. Now let's weed the boy design. I'm gonna bring in my magnetic ruler, and my mini magnet to hold down the design while I try to weed it out. I go through so much white. With permanent vinyl and with iron-on vinyl. It's my most used color. And my last order, I ordered, I think it was a 10-foot roll, because I'm like, why do I keep ordering the smaller rolls? And I know I'm gonna use it no matter what, so why not just buy the bigger roll? And you end up saving a little bit of money when you buy the bigger size. So that's what I did. And I'm already halfway through the roll. I mean, this order itself was a lot too. All right. Awesome. So let me show you the boy t-shirt. So this is the shade of blue, and this is what the design is going to look like. All right, I'm going to weed out the rest, and then we'll go press the designs. Here is a close-up of the t-shirts. I think they turned out absolutely perfect. It feels so good to check these off of my list. I finished all 5 t-shirts for girls and the 3 t-shirts for the boys. I think she definitely made the right choice going with white for both genders because it keeps it consistent. And as you can see, the design is consistent as well. The only difference obviously is boys and girls. And I feel like the quality of the designs is so different now after I started using the hack that I shared with you in my, gosh, what video was it? I'll have it on the screen. The hack that I'm referring to is a hack that I've started to do with my heat press. Gosh, how many times can I say hack in a sentence, right? Anyway, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'll have the video on the screen. But I really feel like the vinyl now becomes one with the fabric, which is pretty much what you want. You don't want the vinyl to just sit on top of it, because then if it goes through the dryer or if the weather is really bad, the vinyl might start to peel off. So definitely check out that video if you haven't seen it yet. I think you might find the hack useful. Let's move on to the rest of the projects. All right, next I'm gonna work on another custom order for one of the stuffed animal elephants I like to work on. I think I've shared them before. I'll bring it in once I'm done weeding. And usually most of the requests I get are for the name on one side, on one ear, and then the baby's information on the other ear. So her height, her weight, her birthday. It's a very, very sweet keepsake. And I'm just going to trim these apart and I'll show you the layout. So this is the elephant the design is going on. So usually we have the initial and the name on one side, and then all the information and the cute hearts on the other side. Now, when I press this, I definitely need to press them one at a time, because if I press these two at the same time, the white vinyl is going to press onto the pink carrier sheet, and you want all the vinyl to be touching the fabric and not another carrier sheet, because otherwise when you remove the carrier sheet, you're just going to remove the white design. So I'm going to press the E first for a few seconds, and then I'm going to press the name, making sure to cover both of them with a Teflon sheet or parchment paper. And then I'll do a final press just to make sure they're completely on there. So for example, if you want to press it for a total of 20 seconds, you would do about 8 seconds for this by itself, and then another 8 seconds for the name on top of the initial, and then another 4 seconds with a Teflon sheet on top. And that's it. And then I do the same thing with these, and it doesn't matter which goes first. It's just easier. I usually do the white part first and then the hearts. All right, let's go press this. All right, that is how the elephant turned out. Look at how cute the colors look together. Isn't it perfect? And I usually leave the tag on, especially if someone ordered it as a gift. You know, I leave it up to them, and I just make sure that the tag doesn't come in contact with the heat press. But that is it. Let's move on to the next one. All right, the last thing I want to work on is a super cute onesie design. And I'm going to show you what it says first, and then we'll talk about it. So I'm doing glitter heat transfer vinyl. I'm doing red and black. Red is going on the bottom portion of the design, and then black is going on the top portion. Okay, I don't know if you can tell already what it says, and I'll explain why there are random letters on both of them. So I like to do this just as a guide for myself, and I like to do this because these, the T and the W, I use them as guides when I'm placing this on the onesie to make sure I have the exact spacing and distance and position I want. Yes, it does waste some vinyl, you know, on both, but to me, it's still worth it because it helps me line it up. Now, what I usually do is I only keep one of these two letters. I think while I was cutting it, I forgot that I did this one, so I added the W, because I can probably just cut this off, and then I line up the T. So let's pretend this doesn't exist. I line up the T with this T, and if there's no carrier sheet or anything under the red piece, I just press it as is. The T is going to transfer onto this carrier sheet, which is completely fine because I don't even want it. Anyway, I'm just using it as a guide. I hope that makes sense, and I hope I explained it in a clear way. So this is going on a baby onesie. Let me know if you know this song. I feel like most people do. If you can guess it, let me know the name of the song in the comments. All right, let's go place the design on the onesie. Oh my gosh, look at how cute the onesie turned out. How adorable is this? Look at the glitter. I'm trying to see if I can get a good angle. Yeah, look at that. So adorable, isn't it? All right, that is everything I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you made it till the end, leave any red emoji, your favorite red emoji, in the comments section. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in next week's video. Bye!